Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of laws of exponents. This is standard A.11B in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 48 of the 2025 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find an equivalent expression for this right here. And it says this values of y where the expression is defined simply because we have y in our denominator and we can't have that as a 0. So they're saying let's find an equivalent expression and let's just assume that y is not 0 because you can't divide by 0, that's undefined. And so we're going to need our reference materials. It's going to be very important for us. And we're going to need our properties of exponents. And so I'm seeing two things happening here. I am seeing a power of a power. And so we see this. We see a to the m, and then take that to the n. What you end up doing is you end up just multiplying those two, the m and the n. And then I'm also seeing a negative exponent. It's this -2. It's not only a power of a power, but it's a negative power of a power. So a to the negative n equals 1 over a to the n. And then eventually we might get a product of powers. We might get a to the m times a to the n equals a to the m plus n. We might have that, as long as the bases are the same. All right, so I think that's going to be pretty good for us. And so I would suggest probably dealing with, obviously we got to deal with this exponent first right here. Since it's order of operations, it's on the outside, right? But I would suggest dealing with that negative first. And so I want to view it this way. I want to take this 6y to the third squared, right? And all of that is in the numerator of our fraction, and it's a negative. But if I take my negative exponent right here, what that means is I'm just going to do 1 over that. Now, I'm almost there. I've got everything I need to, except there's already something in the denominator. That y is already in the denominator. So then I'm just going to make sure I multiply by y on the outside. And so now I've rewritten it. I don't see that there, so let me do an extra layer. But the first step is just to take that 6y to the third, and then that quantity squared, bring that down into the denominator because it's a -2. Now we can go ahead and deal with our product of powers right here because I need to do something with this squared. Now, what I'm doing is I need to distribute that squared into both terms. So let me rewrite this because this squared goes into the 6 and the y third. So we can see it like this: 6 squared times y third squared. And I still have this y sitting out here. But let's make sure we get that squared to both the 6 and the y cubed, not just to the y cubed. And that wouldn't be an option anyways because there's no 6 down here. It's either a 36 or a 12. All right, and so we can see that we're down to our last one before we combine like terms. Right, we've got 6 squared is 36. All right, so we're not going to deal with these two. Y cubed, and then that quantity squared, it's going to be this power of a power still, right? So we're going to end up doing times y a times m to the n, right? So we'll do 3 times 2, so that's going to end up being 6. And then I still have this y just sitting out here. So that's going to be 36 times y to the 6th times y. Now, that last y is just y to the first, right? And so we can use this product of powers right here. We have the same bases. We can end up adding those two. So we're down here, and I think we're finally there. 36, and then y times 6 plus 1, because we're just going to take both of those, which gets us y times 36 over 36y to the 7th. So many steps. We went from here to here, over there, all the way down there. But we have our answer here of A, 1 over 36 y to the 7th.